The big question.
Go on.
Does Michael Fry like a fry?
Yeah, I love it.
Do you feel you have to?
I feel like I have to now. Yeah. I feel like whenever I'm somewhere, I'm like, you want to get breakfast or whatever, and you're looking at omelets, you're looking at whatever, and you're like, no, like, I have to.
Michael Omelette, also great.
That's
great
horrible.
staging.
Michael Omelette.
You don't think it's great?
No,
Michael Omelette?
Omelette, no, because it sounds like vomit. That's what it would.
Yeah.
I love an Ulster fry.
You do?
Yeah, because you have the most carbs of all the fries, because you have the soda.
What makes it different? That's what I was going to say. Is it the breads?
The breads. You have toast. You have
Potato bread?
Soda bread. Yeah. Soda farl. Yeah, they're different. We don't have them.
And sometimes half a pancake.
Yeah.
Not as much anymore. That was more of a troubles thing, but
I don't love that as well. It's kind of mixing sweet and savoury,
Yeah, but you'd be surprised. If you were to go pancake, sausage, bit of beans, 10 out of 10.
I don't know. I can't get on board with that. Because do you ever go to Bob and Bert's?
Yeah.
And they do like a stack. I always change the pancake out for something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you a swapper outer? I'm a swapper outer.
I am. Yeah. I don't agree with tomato in a fry. I think they're like, why? It doesn't change the taste of it. It just makes it warmer and more.
I like it on there, but I won't eat it. You know what I mean? There's something aesthetically I quite like about it.
Yeah.
I think it's healthy if there's a tomato on it, but I also know I'm not going to eat it.
Yeah, that's very true. Like, it's a garnish.
Want to point out, I get my hair cut later. I don't have any product in my hair. That's why I'm wearing a cap, and I just felt like wearing it back to front. I hope you have no issue with that.
I wasn't going to say anything.
But what were you going to say?
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
Okay, great. But you had thoughts on it?
No, I don't know. It feels very cool.
Oh, thank God.
I don't know.
Yes, I was.
You look like you skateboard.
That's what I hope for. I look like not a skateboarder.
No, but you skateboard. You're not professional, but
Cool. I like that. Yeah, I'm a big fry guy. And Bob and Bert's, weirdly, this feels like we're setting it up for brand talk, but they do gluten-free fry.
Do they?
It's excellent.
Okay.
I love it.
I'm a big fan of them. I love Ground up here, and you have Greg's.
I don't like fry places that try and make it a bit like fancier.
Okay.
By not giving you a load of stuff.
Yeah.
Like a minimalist fry is no good to anybody. I don't care what the quality of the product is,
they give you like a breakfast board.
Yes.
And they've made their own beans and stuff, and I don't want that.
Yes. I'm mainstream beans, like Heinz.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Bachelors.
Yeah, I'll look at a Branston, but I won't eat it.
Yeah.
I
agree. I got sugar-free beans once, and I was like, why? How much beans am I eating?
Why even? Don't even tell us. I didn't even know there was sugar in it in the first place.
Yeah.
Now you're making it weird.
And the tomato sauce, yeah.
Yeah. How many times a week would you have a cooked breakfast? Once a week, or does it depend what you're
Probably
doing?
Probably about once a week. Yeah. I don't know. Is that brand consistent?
I feel like a lot.
Should I be eating it once a day?
I don't know. It depends where you are. Like if you're traveling, you're gonna have a lot of cooked breakfasts.
Oh yeah, I was up in Belfast for a week there recording my sketch show, and I had a hotel breakfast every day.
What hotel did you stay in?
Voco Belfast. Have you ever been
yes.
There? Yeah.
My dad's staying there at the minute because they're relaying his floor.
Ah, it's good. It's cool. They've really done it up. It used to be like a Crown Plaza or something.
Yeah.
And now it's.
My dad said he was going to have to pay. Get ready for this. Even if you're a guest, how much do you think it costs a day to park there? 14 quid.
That's ridiculous.
What were you going to guess?
I was going to say £30. I was like, that's too high.
That's why I could never be a game show host.
That would really cut it from under you. Like, £30, you say 14. I was like,
that's why I couldn't host too much with a millionaire. I'm like, what's capital of Estonia? And then even before you answer, I just say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he said there was a really nice woman who was like, don't worry about it.
Oh, that's sad.
There's a really nice woman who worked there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll cut that in case she gets fired. We've ratted her out.
This episode of the Tea With Me podcast is sponsored by none other than That Prize Guy. That Prize Guy, it's the biggest competition site in Ireland. It changes people's lives. I've just seen a lot of stuff they've been posting about the latest millionaire, the latest person who's won £1 million in their giveaways. Just a regular guy changing his life. They do small competitions for like small amounts of money, the cars, the holidays, the houses, everything in between, and then they've made 8 millionaires. And the mad thing is the company is based here, comes from here, and you will have known someone, no doubt, with the way it works here, that has won on That Prize Guy. You've also probably seen some of the branding at some of the biggest sport events in the world. Some of the biggest fights in the Middle East and now in the UK are all that prize guy. That prize guy's into everything. If you want to take a look over on the site, you can see what is happening right now. There'll be loads going on at the same time.
They've already put their 9th millionaire draw on for the end of March.
So at the end of March, they will be making another millionaire, making it 9 millionaires. Thatprizeguy.co.uk. The link for that is in the description. Thanks for sponsoring the pod. What did you do? Aside from making the show, when you were in Belfast for a week, what did you get up to?
I went for a nice dinner.
Most breakfast
days.
and a big dinner.
A big dinner, yeah. I put on a lot of weight the last week. I'm doing a wedding. I'm going to a wedding next week, and I'm a groomsman. And we did the fitting before Christmas.
By the way, we're so showbiz that you are just going as a groomsman, and you said you're doing a wedding next week.
Doing a wedding.
They're booking me. He's booking me as a groomsman.
Yeah,
invoice after it. Yeah.
People have asked. Have you been asked? You've done weddings, haven't you?
Oh yeah, stand up at a wedding. Yeah.
Yeah, people have asked me to do the music at their wedding.
Yeah.
And I'm there was a couple who were very nice, and they asked me, "Do you want to go out to Portugal?" And I was like, "That's insane to ask me to do that." I just
I think it's great, but then here's what I like about doing any kind of a corporate or a wedding or anything. I kind of like to just show up, say hello, do my set, and then I'm gone,
and then leave. Yeah.
But if you're in Portugal, they have you.
I can't leave. I can't flee.
They're like, sunbathe with us, Michael.
No,
you have to, but if they've thrown you all the way out there, you have to.
That's the thing. You have to hang out with them.
They're like, do our backs, Michael. You kind of feel like you have to do it.
And that's a service I would.
You will.
That's a line on the invoice. Absolutely. Yeah.
Did you say no? Did you?
I said no. Yeah, because I hadn't done live at all at that point as well. Live's a very recent thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
I the idea of me flying out there when I'd never done live before and ruining someone's wedding.
Kind of baller, It's kind of like having never done stand-up and then just booking a residency in Vegas.
Yeah, that's basically
the biggest hotel in Vegas. Stand-up at weddings, I don't do anymore. I did do it, but then the reason I don't do it is it never goes like anyone thinks it's going to go, even at its best.
Yeah.
It's a great idea because you go, comedy at a wedding, everyone will be laughing. You're going to have speeches in there. Combine that with, if you want me to do half an hour or whatever, it's a hell of a long time of getting long. Guests to not talk.
Yeah.
At a wedding you want to talk and walk around the tables and speak to people and all that kind of thing. You're then a barrier to that for half an hour. So it's, I don't know, I've done some that have been great, just feels like doing a stand-up gig, and I've done some tough ones.
I think they really have to expect you to be there as well.
Yes.
I think the idea of surprise stand-up is a terrible idea.
I'm
very hesitant to do places where people haven't booked to see me specifically, because I'm like, what if I get booed? Whereas I feel like if it's my own fans, that's on you for paying for the tickets. But if it's other people,
what was the because you done loads of online sketches for years.
Yeah,
you'd done online sketches before you started live. Is that right?
Yeah.
So what was the first live thing that you did, whether it was a gig or?
So me and Killian Sunderman had never done live before, and our agent was like, "You both want to do it? Let's just book something." And I didn't cancel it, and I didn't let myself pull out of it, and I didn't chicken out.
Right.
Which I think is the best thing.
Yeah.
Like if you're ever thinking about it, if you're ever thinking about doing stand up or whatever, book something and then don't chicken out.
Yeah.
Me and Killian did this like a distillery in Dublin, so it was just like a private space that they had, and we hired that out. We had like a stage, and it was like myself, Simon Hennessy as well. The three of us did stand up for the first time, and Emma Doran was the MC, and we all did like 20 minutes or whatever. Simon did like 10, Killian did, I think he was supposed to do 20, but because he was so nervous, he blew through it and stood, and he's a great stand-up now. He's a really good stand-up. I don't love doing stand-up, but he loves it now.
Yeah.
But his first one, he stood there and he was afraid to move the microphone even, so he just stood there kind of like rigid with the thing in his hand doing the jokes.
I did one of the first gigs I did was Queen's Comedy Club, Mandela Hall.
Oh yeah.
And it would have been like packed with like 400 people, and I was to do 7 minutes. Colin Murphy was MCing. He brought me on, went straight to do a piss, which is like from here to our front doorway.
Yeah.
He barely had time to finish before he heard me saying thank you very much and go off. And here's the thing about Colin Murphy, I don't think he has a oddly long piss. I've never asked him, but I think he pissed for the standard amount of time.
Okay.
I'm not saying he did a 6.5 minute piss.
It was definitely a piss though, was it? Wasn't? Do you know what he did?
definitely.
Okay.
Trust me.
Yeah.
Because there's other people there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I remember doing like condensing 7 minutes into like 1.5. So I can understand that feeling of like. But it's cool that you guys did it together.
Yeah,
You were both doing it for the first time.
Yeah, and we then kind of went on tour like around the country together as like a show thing we did, because we were asked to Dublin Fringe, and we did a show together then that added more kind of character bits and kind of things that I like doing. Killian's just a really good stand-up.
Right.
I'm not good at that, so I love kind of like hiding behind him because he's more popular and people will sell tickets if he's there, but also like he does the stand-up-y hard bits, and then I come in with stupid bullshit like, you know, like songs and stuff, you know, the easy stuff.
But it's a something I wouldn't envy is like when I first started stand-up, and for so long, like years and years, people come to see gigs because I was part of a comedy club and a bill. I had no idea who I was. So I loved that there was no pressure on me to do anything. I could have a terrible set. Nobody gave a fuck because they were there to see the headliner.
Yeah.
So, but it's mad to me that you and Killian and loads of guys who, especially during COVID when online stuff kind of went to the next level, I think, and then when it came out of it, a lot of people had these offers to go and gig and do live shows. I would hate the idea of having the popularity and the expectation being at a certain level, and then they're like, go do a thing you've never done before, but you're not being treated as a newcomer. You're being treated like a star kind of, or like an established name.
Yeah, I think people look at you like a curiosity, but they're on your side because they're your fans. Like if people really like you, you can't do anything wrong. So it was actually a really nice first go at it.
Yeah.
And like looking back, my first one went really well. And I've spoken to other guys, like online guys who tried stand-up, did an open mic and died on their arse. And I think I never would have done it again had I not just had a really nice first.
Because they can't put it in their drafts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's real life.
It is.
You know, you can't just like move the drafts and then.
That's the thing. But what makes me think is like online embarrassment is forever. If you do something fucked up, everyone's going to remember it for the rest of your life. Yeah. Whereas you do something fucked up on stage, like you've like 50 people there or whatever. Like that's fine.
What was the to go back a bit? What was the first video you ever put out, and when roughly was it?
Oh, so I used to live in Coleraine.
Did you?
I did.
What were you doing there?
I was working for the tourist board.
Were you?
Yeah. So
specifically the Northern Ireland Tourist Board.
Tourism Ireland, the island of Ireland overseas.
Okay. Yep.
So I was doing this graduate program, and everybody else got to go to like these fancy places like Vancouver and like Denmark and Paris or whatever. And I got a call being like, "We got you a placement. You're going to Coleraine." I was like, what?
Like, yeah, you were hoping there was Coleraine in other countries.
Same, yeah.
Coleraine where?
I was like, what? Yeah. And then it's like, okay, well, if you stay in Coleraine for a year, you can go to New York. And I was like, okay, yeah, fuck it, I'm not doing anything else. Like, what else am I going to do with myself? I didn't get through to any other graduate programs, so I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. I'll come up here. So I was living there, and I couldn't drive. And you really need to drive to live there. So
you need to leave.
You do. Yeah, exactly. There's kind of very little in Coleraine. Like, no offense to Coleraine.
Birds.
Yeah, I did go to there. I went there an awful lot.
Yeah.
I went there, and they opened a Greg's when I arrived as well, and I think I was responsible for like 50% of their turnover. There was one time I went in, and the woman at the till went, "Is that all for you?" And I was like,
she's like, "The family will enjoy this." You're like, yes.
She's like, you must be hungry. I was like, this is shameful.
But what were you doing like day to day?
I couldn't tell you, Shane. I couldn't tell you.
But the tourist board had you there?
Yeah. So basically, we
were they just
being
like, oh, just exist?
Pretty much. Yeah. I couldn't tell you what my job was. Like, you know, it's looking back at it, it was some kind of admin thing. I would do like purchase orders and stuff like that, but I didn't know what I was doing at all. So I kind of went nuts. Like, I wasn't doing anything.
There is a Nando's now in Coleraine, but I don't know.
There wasn't a Nando's back then. There was Checkers, and yeah.
Sippers, we are also sponsored by our friends at none other than BetterHelp. We're talking about support systems, you know, a time when you need a little bit of support to get to feeling good or to help you. Personally, I'm thinking about when I've been diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I'd lost a load of weight. I'd been in hospital, and I just was absolutely not feeling myself. And then eventually, when I was able to go back to football training, it was unbelievable. And I was nowhere near like the weight I should be. I was really underweight, and I wasn't able to do things like run as fast as I could or feel strong. But just being back in that environment and seeing friends and kicking a ball about genuinely made me feel so much better. And then eventually I was able to get back to that, and now at 36, nearly 37, I'm still trying to do that, and that's an environment that I love. Therapy can be a source of support for any area of your life. It's time to shift the focus from doing it all on your own to asking for help, because we do live in a time where if you look at social media, TikTok and stuff, there's all these videos of you need to do this yourself. It's all about independence, but we also need people to help us at times. You can build a support system with BetterHelp. That's online therapy. You can go to betterhelp.com/tea with me today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/tea with me. The link is in the description. We're also sponsored by none other than our friends at Manscaped, the #1 in men's below the belt grooming. If you've thought of it, they've got it. Products for men's grooming from the top of your head to the soles of your feet. They've got you covered. Razors, shavers, gizmos, gadgets, creams, lotions, potions. They've got it all. The Lawnmower 5.0, the Chairman Pro. Manscaped were, I think, originally at the start maybe just a dick and balls company, and since then they've gone on to be head, face, chest, genitals, your back, your legs, your pussy, your crack, whatever it is you have, they've got something that will help that area just look a lot better. And then they just originally had the razors, and then they've got the creams that go on after. Everything you need to be a well-groomed gentleman in 2025. I'm about to go on tour to America. If you look at my kit, they go anything to declare, only a handful of Manscaped products and a smooth body. Manscaped.com. Use the code T with me for 20% off and free shipping. What the hell? The link for that is in the description.
Well, when I arrived, it was actually like I went to view some houses or whatever, and I arrived on July like 14th to a place called Union Street, and I was like, oh, I'm in danger.
Yeah.
But it was fine. Everyone was really nice.
I think 2 days earlier you would have been, but
probably, yeah. But it was totally fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's it was grand. I went a bit mental, and then that meant I was kind of messing with music at home.
What year roughly are we talking about here?
2018. So
Right,
a long time ago now.
Yeah.
And I just started doing some like radio sketches, because I realized like you could if you record yourself and you can play it back, and then you can have a little argument or whatever. So I started doing them, and I posted like 6 in a row really quickly, and suddenly it just started getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and I had to like ring my dad being like, what do I do?
Yeah.
Like, oh shit. So that's why I'm Michael Fry now. That's not my real name. I just kind of panicked and was like, I need to be somebody else.
Why Fry? Because you love cook breakfast.
Because I love breakfast, yeah. That's exactly it. There's not a more.
Is that genuinely?
That's genuinely it. Yeah. Because I'm a fat
I was
bastard.
messing.
Yeah. So that's.
I love this. I'd never thought about a stage name, you know.
Yeah.
Shane Todd's like kind of.
I think it's got
stagey.
two syllables.
Yeah.
You know, I think it has to be snappy. You
Yes.
know, because my real surname is Deneen, and that's like there's 2 N's, 2 E's, and that, and like nobody can ever spell that first go. You know,
Danino.
It could work. Yeah. I've gotten dinner before.
Yeah.
Which isn't my name. So
Michael Deneen, but Michael Deneen's a kind of.
it's actually Matthew Deneen. Yeah. I really wish I picked a more exciting name than Michael, to be very honest. Sorry, Michael.
What is real about
Michael here?
what is real about Michael Fry?
Nothing. Not even from the north. So
Not even white?
no, I'm very much white. Yeah, I think.
Did you get the New York trip that they promised you?
I had to leave before that because I was kind of just
Couldn't do
like
it.
I couldn't stick it out, do you know, because I was in with students, and then the academic year ended, and I was like, I'm going to be here on my own,
Yeah.
and then going to like the biggest city in the world after that. So I kind of was like, I'm not sure I can cope with that contrast.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But everyone was really nice. Like I did have a nice time for most of it. Like everyone was nice to me, but it just kind of wasn't. I think a lot of comedians have this where like they just can't stand offices or doing real jobs, and I think that was my problem as well. Like I've never really applied myself at anything, so like that was not included, you know. So
when you first started putting stuff out around that time, like 2018, and putting things online, when did you notice straight away from those early ones, like people were sharing these and talking about it, or was there a time where things kind of kicked up a little bit? And when do you put that down? Just
that week where I started posting loads of them, Kevin Bridges shared it, and Blind Boy, and all these different people, and suddenly I'd like I was getting thousands and thousands of followers overnight nearly.
What was the platform then? If like
Twitter. So
right, okay.
Twitter just allowed video maybe 9 months before that.
Yeah.
And I'd kind of had a presence on there. I'd maybe 400 followers, like kind of just a regular Twitter user. But then I was kind of like, I know I'll make my friends laugh. And then suddenly it just kind of gets, you know, it snowballs out of control, and that's.
And did you have like? Do you have that kind of background? Do you have like a drama background or performance background or anything like that?
No,
that's
the
same as me. I've not. That.
I did it in secondary school,
right?
And then when I went to college, I was like, everybody had like I went to Trinity. Everyone had been to like private schools and done musicals and done all this stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone like at that age, everyone's up their own hole anyway. Like, so I was kind of like, I'm not able for this, so I didn't bother.
And did you ever have like? Have you ever had controversy with a video, or even like in the early days? Like, do you ever remember the first time you got like maybe negativity or?
I don't know. Sometimes there was some guy who said I was puerile very early on, and like I am
quite Shakespearean.
It's very yeah. But it's one of those people like when they get really mad on the internet and they start talking like in iambic pentameter or whatever. Like, they go fucking insane.
Yeah.
So it was one of those guys. No, not really. I'm very frightened. In general, my favourite thing to do is perceive.
Just in life?
Yeah, I love being afraid. Love perceiving threats.
Have you been afraid today at any point?
Yeah, all the time. Coming in here, yeah, absolutely. No, yeah, I don't know. I'm just very nervous.
Are you afraid of the dark?
No.
See, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I am the darkness. No, I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm just having been on Twitter for such a long time. You've seen every possible way that somebody can take issue with stuff.
Yeah, of course.
And I think sometimes you're kind of just, it does affect you where you're like, I'm trying to look at this from like the most illogical, like bad faith take on it rather than what people could logically think about it.
But then you say about being afraid. I don't doubt you saying that, but like you have confidence in, and you're not afraid in so much as you're willing to like put yourself out there by performance and a live act. You know, so that takes a lot of courage to just put yourself out there on stage and and even if they have come to see you and you're saying like they're kind of already laughing and stuff, that maybe buys you a minute or 5 minutes at the start of the show, but it doesn't buy you an hour.
It does. Sorry, it doesn't. Right. Sorry, I was agreeing with you, and then I just freaked out. Yeah. I did a gig I did a very early gig in Belfast, and I didn't have enough material.
Where was it?
It was it was a pub in North Belfast, Madigan's.
Yeah.
I did that, and
you're booked for what? Half an hour?
I probably did about 15 minutes.
Right.
And then sat down, and then everyone's kind of still sitting there being like, was that it? Like,
right.
And then the guy running it was like, go up there and do another song or something. I did. I went back and was like, yeah, as if it was an encore. It was just like what I'd been scheduled to do. So I just didn't have enough to fill the half hour, that kind of thing. And I'm still embarrassed about it now.
But did you have the songs to be able to do that?
No.
I had just playing like Summer 69.
Yeah,
but legit, doing the legit lyrics.
I think I did the Nadine Goyle song as an encore, but I'd never really done it before, so it was kind of pitchy and really weird. Like,
right.
But yeah, it was kind of embarrassing having asked people to pay money to see me and then like not delivering really at all.
Yeah.
But
like what you're so great at is like taking a news story or something in popular culture and turning it into a song. Do you ever get people who you're dealing with in those songs coming to you and being like, I love that? Like you mentioned about the Nadine Coyle song.
She hasn't reached out to me, unfortunately.
She's lovely.
I'd love her to. She seems
I've acted
great.
with her before.
Have you?
Yep, she was great.
In what?
Soft Border Patrol. You were in that as well.
No, I wasn't.
Well, that's what you think.
Shit, was I? What?
I think I'm pretty sure you were. Okay. I thought you were for some reason, but yeah, I had a day of film with her.
I definitely wasn't on Soft Border.
I didn't watch it. Genuinely, like I'm not making that up. Like I don't really watch things I do. Not out of either I'm not proud of it or I just like I'll be too cringe to see it. I just watch other things, like Squid Games or whatever. But the boys were talking about the intro of the podcast.
Yeah,
because a bit of it played as we were sitting there. We were doing the week of lives, so the podcast intro started, and I thought Michael had made it just for this week, and I was like, that's brilliant. I was like, that's really good, like all that video stuff. And he's like, but that's like every week the podcast for like over a year has opened like that. And I was like, how would I know? They're like, how do you never see the podcast? I'm like, because we're doing it.
God.
We're doing it.
I admire that so much because I watch everything I do back in minute detail, being like, I should have moved my face differently there,
right?
That kind of thing.
No, I don't watch it back at all.
Oh,
I
man.
thought you were in South Border Patrol, honestly.
No.
I've been telling everyone.
That's
Yeah, we did a day of film. I had scenes with Nadine Coyle for like a day, and you have no idea what that's going to be like.
Yeah.
But she was so good about like not taking herself seriously, being like, yeah, joke about anything, and like her improv with comedy was great. I had a great time. I thought she was brilliant.
Yeah.
She
She
was
seems
really
fun. She was on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, and she told a little crocodile to piss off, which I thought was very funny.
It's a very Derry thing to
It's
do.
very Derry. It was
Yeah,
very
yeah, yeah.
so Irish. Like I was like, wow.
But speaking of things you have been in,
Yeah.
you were in Derry Girls,
I wasn't Derry Girls yet.
and do you feel
I know what you're gonna say.
comfortable stealing that role from me? Because do you know the worst thing is?
Yeah.
I thought I was the only person in for it.
Really?
In for the role. I thought they'd like written the role for me
For you.
based on nothing. No one hinted at it.
Yeah.
But I just got the feeling, that my agent was like, they're excited to see this tape. Can you get a quick turnaround on this?
Yeah.
So I go, brilliant. And I feel like I've done a good job. I send the tape away. And I know Jamie Lee, I know Saoirse.
Uh-huh.
I go, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
This is a done deal. And that is when you and I became enemies.
Yeah. 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 I realise I'm in danger now, and that I'm in a room with your heavies.
I just
ready to pounce at any moment.
imagine if these were the heavies I could muster. Like. I was like, I was sad about that, and then the only thing I do watch back is some of my auditions because we play them on the podcast sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I fully realise why I don't get the role.
Do you know what it is? And this sounds weird. I'm not coming on to you or whatever, but I think you're too attractive for that role, right? I radiate assistant manager vibes, right? I've got like weird fucked up teeth. I play like, I'm good at like a job's worth kind of a role, like librarian kind of thing. I play a lot of priests, like parking wardens, like that sort of thing. I think that's my niche, and I think that's why I was.
So what's crazy is a lot of people be like, don't patronise me, don't say. That's all you need to say.
Okay.
Like, now I'm fine about every audition I've never got
Okay.
because I go, I'm too hot.
You're too hot. That's the thing.
I'm
That's
too
the
hot
problem.
to have got. They're not going to believe what is playing a guy selling food and drink on a train.
That's right. Yeah.
Why was I going in for that? I could never do that. People will go, this is not him.
Yeah, it's and there's so many other guys who went for it as well. Every time I come up here and I meet a comedian, they seem to have gone for the same role.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, I'm not from the north. I got away with it somehow.
I think there should be like a political thing
You think so?
where you can't get that role.
Where I can't get it, or there should be another guy from the north doing the trolley as well.
Yeah.
The two of us, we share.
Yeah,
it,
we
like,
have to do it together.
power sharing. But
Was
for
that
the trolley.
was that a lot of fun? The film.
It was really stressful actually. So it was because we were on a moving train for all of it, and the train can only go in one direction. So we would film for ages, and then we'd reach the end of the track and have to go back again for the same amount of time, and then film again. But it's also an actual train, so it's like kind of like close quarters. Like
Yes.
there's a lot of people sitting down. It was so hot.
Are you scared of trains?
Yeah, frightened. Yeah, really, really terrified of them. Yeah. Thomas the Tank Engine gave me nightmares.
I used to love Thomas the Tank Engine.
Did you? Yeah.
I got a Thomas the Tank Engine cake, but it was Percy for my.
Was he your favourite one?
Yeah, still is.
Cool.
For my. What the fuck? Percy was great, hard to go like.
Yeah.
Thomas a wee bit of a poser. Gordon misery guts like.
Yeah. Who's the one who gets bricked alive? Did you see that one?
Oh yeah.
They break
That
him
might
up in a
be,
tunnel for eternity. It's fucking terrifying.
That might be what do you call that guy?
Edward.
Is there an Edward in it?
There's an Edward, yeah.
He's brown, I think, this week, yeah. He gets. There's also a book I read to my kids, and halfway through it, I was like, Jesus Christ! There's these boys knock one of the James off the tracks, like.
Oh my
which
god.
is attempted murder.
That's really frightening. Yeah, they decommission him.
But Toby. I think Toby got he's still in there, like.
Oh no.
But
can we get him out? So, like, I'm thinking of the Succession bit. You're like, can we get him out? Yeah.
He man, I got a Tom Tangen birthday cake. Newton Arts Leisure Centre football party.
Cool.
Great day.
Yeah,
Then my
that
mum
sounds great.
dropped it, and
Yeah.
she was like, "Oh no, I've dropped it."
Oh.
We have we've been sponsored by BetterHelp before and stuff, and I always think I'm not always like never done therapy or whatever.
Yeah.
What would you talk to a therapist about? I think we could bash out an hour on that.
There was a pregnant pause there where you said she dropped it and you went, and like, I was like,
I can still picture it.
Yeah.
I lost my mind. Like,
yeah. Did his face?
His face was smushed.
Oh no.
Under the ground, Newton Arts Leisure Centre.
Yeah.
I'll get you a Colin the Caterpillar cake round the corner.
That's nature's train, isn't it? Caterpillar.
Yeah. That's actually a beautiful way. Like, you know how to say the right thing. If you'd have been there and said that to me, I'd be like, weird that a fellow 4-year-old is talking like that. But I would think that was beautiful. That would have made things okay.
Are you older than me? Are you?
What age are you?
I'm 31.
I'm 36.
Okay, so I would have been a baby.
You'd have been a baby saying that, and I go like, that's mental, but like that's soothed everything somehow.
Yeah.
31's 31. When I was 31, I wish I had enjoyed it more and just been like this. I'm young. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because now I'd love to be 31.
I feel over the hill now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the same age now as when my parents had me. And like when they were my age, they had like a house, they had a car.
Yes.
My dad had a job.
But you have a car now?
Sorry?
You have a car now?
No, I don't. I don't have any of those things. I have a Nintendo Switch. Like I have.
Did you get the train here?
Yeah, I got the train.
And that's a big deal for you?
Yeah. Face my fears, you know.
I didn't know you got the train.
Yeah, 2 trains. It's easier. I live behind the train station, so like.
That must be terrifying for you. Or did you move there to try and get over your fear?
Try and get over the fear. Yeah. Face the fear and do it anyway. That's why I do stand up.
What does Michael Fry do when he's on the train?
I forgot my headphones today, so I raw dogged the whole journey. So
no.
I've had a day of it.
Do you have a laptop? Oh, you got your phone, but you have a laptop?
You have your phone. I was on my phone, yeah.
Would Michael Fry ever buy a magazine? That's what people are asking.
Who's been asking that? Just in the...
Several people have asked me that recently.
I don't know. I'd probably... If I were to get a magazine, it'd be like Empire or one of those ones that has interviews with actors.
Yeah.
I would say. I'm not like a special interest kind of guy. I'm not like a fishing guy or...
No, I wouldn't have thought you were.
Yeah.
You know, I just couldn't see that.
I'm really unathletic looking.
Yeah.
So.
What does Michael Fry play any sports? What is he like?
No, I'm bad at everything. So
Right.
I'm really bad at like the hand-eye coordination of a baby. So it's like...
But then you can do all the music.
Yeah.
So you're coordinated like that. That's the way I'd want to be coordinated.
Yeah.
I can't play anything, but I would love to.
I don't really play live. I don't play things live. I do like a karaoke kind of thing where I have a backing track or I have a band. I've been doing things with a band recently and it feels great because you're kind of like the front man of a band.
Yeah, that's great.
You know?
I would love that.
Yeah.
I also noticed that, look, I had to get these corrective shoes. People were bored of me talking about it, but I had to get corrective shoes.
Yeah. Did you get the little insoles?
It's a whole drama.
Okay,
I've got insoles on the way.
Mm-hmm.
I keep doing the ligaments in my ankle, right? Which is not good because we have so many commitments coming up that require me moving fast.
Yeah.
Sounds weird with a football match in the marathon. So I've been fitted for insoles.
Oh yeah.
In the meantime, I was like, I need to be able to walk though until they arrive. So I went to a sports shop and I got these because they said get Brooks ones.
Yeah.
And I went to the lady and I said, I need supportive shoes. She said, these are the ones for you. Send a picture to my podiatrist. He says, hold on a second here. He goes, these do correct your arch. These will help you. But if we put the insoles on insoles, you're going to be overly corrected.
Okay.
You're going to be 7'4".
Yeah.
So I have to buy now a pair of neutral shoes to put my insoles into.
Yeah.
But I've been getting a lot of abuse for these from my close friends.
Okay.
You know, youth minister, substitute teacher.
Yeah.
Because I've gone for the jazzy pair.
Mm-hmm.
So I go, I feel like embarrassed wearing these. But little did I know that across the island of Ireland, Michael Fry is also wearing a pair of these Brooks shoes.
Yeah. I told you I have...
Can I see them all?
Assistant manager vibes. I've got substitute teacher vibes.
Now, do you know what that says to me?
Yeah.
Jazzy.
I don't know.
That's jazzy.
They say kind of like psychiatric nurse to me.
But
like
those
quiet shoes.
Those seem quite neutral to me.
In what way?
In terms of mine are like supportive and corrective.
Yeah.
Those are the sort of shoe you could put an insole into.
I do. I have a custom orthotic in there.
So you're already in the custom
orthotic world, yeah.
Sole game.
Oh yeah.
How long have you been in that world for? And what brought you in?
3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What brought you in?
Shin splints.
Yeah.
Pain.
Yeah.
I don't do any sports, but it's just good to have them there, you know.
Yeah. Because that you look like you do, like you look like a squash guy with those.
That's the thing. People assume, he's a runner or something.
Yeah.
I don't do
And
anything.
do you like having the insole? Does that make a difference?
I think it does.
Because there's more comedians that have insoles that once you start talking about it, they'll confide in you and tell you that they have them too. Because a lot of these guys are trying to be cool, running around, you know. Oh, stand up, you know, I'm a comedian. But then, you know, they'll come up and whisper to it, like, I have them as well.
But you're on your feet all day.
Exactly.
Or for 20 minutes.
And my posture's bad.
Like,
my posture's bad.
Yeah.
I stand at like 5'10". I'm 6'4".
Really?
Yeah. Like if I'm
are you actually...
No, I'm like 6 on the dot.
Are you? Okay.
But I slouch and my posture's really bad.
Okay.
So then to prove my real height, I have to like take a minute and like contort.
Bring yourself up again.
Yeah. I'm going my tiptoes. I have to stand on a crate to show people my real height.
Your real height, yeah.
Are you a Dublin guy?
I'm from Navan. So, like Tommy Tiernan, like Justine Stafford's down the road, Dylan Moran's there, Arthur Matthews, who wrote Father Ted, is from Navan. So
there's something in the water.
Yeah, it's lead. Right. One of the largest lead mines in the world. So
is that right?
That's true. Yeah.
That's a nice fact.
Yeah.
Is it like a lead mine?
Lead and zinc
town. You know, where a lot of people work in that industry.
Oh yeah.
Like Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Equivalent.
Yeah, lead. I don't know.
You know, like when there's a big thing, if there's a Jack Daniels brewery, but this is the main place that everyone's mum and dad like works there or has an association to.
Yeah.
So were you all like, everyone's in the lead mine game?
There was a lot of people, yeah, absolutely. So lead and furniture were the two, and carpets, I think, were big industries in Navan.
It's a lot of industries for one place. A lot of industries,
yeah. It's a big town. So
I gigged there years ago.
Really? Where?
Couldn't tell you where.
Okay.
It was called like Navan Laughs.
Okay. Did it go well?
I think it was good.
Okay.
It was a long time. I was talking like 15 years ago.
Yeah. I would say the people of Navan, the sense of humour isn't particularly reciprocal.
Right.
So like they can slag you off and have a good laugh. And it doesn't matter if you laugh back or not. They've had their fun, and that's all that matters.
And you say anything, they're like, whoa.
Yeah, they're just kind of like, no, it's my... Sometimes they'll just say stuff and not laugh. They'll just be mean.
And Navan's near the border, because... No,
not really.
Right, okay. Well,
we're like an hour and a bit.
Like, but I mean, relatively in terms of the globe,
yeah,
it'd be close to the Irish border.
Close to the Irish border
compared to Darfur
or Mali or somewhere like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I have Michael Fry down as kind of like a border fox guy. Yeah, this guy likes to play both sides of the M50 for work.
That's exactly what I do.
You know,
the best decision I've ever made is to pretend I'm from the north. Because it means I get work up here. It means I got on Derry.
Because you have a character from the north.
I have a few different ones.
So
it's kind of
So that's a lot of fingers and a lot of pies.
Yeah.
The RT pie, the BBC pie.
Yeah.
Not just the hands in, the fist is in. That you're fisting those pies.
Straddling the border. Yeah. I actually, in one of my bios, might be on my agent's page, it's like border straddling. His own unique brand of border straddling comedy.
Because I'm trying to start to straddle.
Yeah,
but I'm not really like... You know, people are learning to ski and they're trying to do the snowplow.
What?
You know when you're trying to ski and you're doing the snowplow?
I've never skied.
Oh, right. Okay. It's the first thing you'll learn.
Okay.
But it's kind of a straddling thing.
Yeah.
It's about having your skis out at a certain angle.
Okay.
To slow yourself down.
Yeah.
But Michael Fry's not slowing down. Somehow he's doing the snowplow across the border and he's speeding up.
That's a hell of a metaphor.
Because he's everywhere at the minute.
That's
we had Justine Stafford down last week doing the pod.
Yeah.
And I was commenting how brilliant the sketch. Like, we're obviously only able to see clips.
Yeah.
Because it's RTE. Mm-hmm. And if only there was some way around that. Dan, am I right?
Some kind of
device.
Virtual.
Like a VPN or...
Yeah.
I don't know if NordVPN, you use the code T with me. You would get 4 months free on a 2-year plan with that. But I'm saying hypothetically you could, if you were somebody who wanted to do that. I don't know if it's legal, but you could.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it's legal.
Yeah.
It's legal.
Okay.
But I've seen so many clips, and it seems like it's going great. Like,
it's going really well. Yeah. We because we did the first one, and we'd never done sketch comedy before or television work before. So
you seem to me all like kind of in a similar boat in that, a lot of you have an online background and have got into comedy in the last few years. Not everyone, most of you, and then it seems like you've all like been put together, and it kind of makes sense because everyone feels like they're on the same wavelength and. It's just a good collaboration.
Yeah.
And everyone gets to show their strengths, and I know you all write different bits of it.
Yeah, I know the guys really well now. You know, I used to work with Justine actually at Joe.
Okay.
We used to work together on the social team. So I've known Justine years, and then Sean Burke does a lot of my stuff, my BBC Sound stuff. He's written on that, so I know him really well. I did the stand up with Killian. I didn't know Emma as well. We did the first show and I barely saw her because she was barely in it. Right. But this time, like, we were in a lot together and I kind of got to know her a lot better. Great. So, but yeah, we're all like, but she's somebody I think is hilarious and I respect quite a bit. So it was like, great, she's in it as well.
Yeah.
But we spent 5 days writing it this time, like an actual writer's room, which didn't happen in the last series. So it's very us. Like we've.
Did you crumple up a lot of paper and throw it over your shoulder?
You don't really do that actually because you work with whiteboards mainly. I work with whiteboards anyway. I love standing at a whiteboard and being
I work with all boards. Just to make it
very good.
I wouldn't mind. When you worked for Joe, I didn't know you worked for Joe IE.
Yeah.
What was your role within that?
I was a junior social media executive and then I was the head of social.
Did you get to work with, were you out all the time with like interviewing celebrities and well-known people? Show me some names.
Oh, so we used to have a podcast. Dion Fanning used to have a podcast where he'd interview people. So you get to meet the likes of Tommy Tiernan or Ardlo Hanlon or Liam Cunningham from Game of Thrones or Barry Keoghan was the first episode. Like loads of those people. But all I would do is come in, take a picture, and be like, "Hello," my name's Michael, and then leave. So when I say I met those people, I very much said hello to them in passing.
Right.
And that was it.
Yeah.
But then I did loads of ads for. It could be any like Club Orange or whatever, or McDonald's or whatever. They send you out the country to do like kind of social bits or whatever. So that was me. Mine and Justine's job was to like post ads on their stories basically. So.
And did you always want to be? Were you always thinking like, because that's a lot of behind the scenes stuff, mm-hmm. But did you always think you wanted to be in front of the camera?
Yeah. It was just like hard to get the. Hard to do that because my role was specifically commercial stuff, that kind of thing. But it was there. I was hired because they'd seen me on Twitter and thought I was funny.
Okay.
So there was bits of that, but it wasn't like my full time gig. That didn't happen till like after COVID or like during COVID, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a big enough profile, or I wasn't doing stand up, or wasn't doing anything that would earn any money. So I had to actually get a job.
Has anyone come to see you live that you've gone like, oh Jesus, look who's in, or been told like? Somebody who slightly puts you off. Sometimes it's like someone who's just like not even really that much of a celebrity, but you're like, what the hell are they doing here?
My parents. So they came to see me at Paddy Power this year. It's the first time they'd seen me live.
Right.
I hated it.
What's their... Because like my mum and dad come to see me do the big live shows.
Yeah.
My mum will always be like, that was brilliant, honey, well done. But my my dad... I like honesty.
Yeah.
It's the same with anything I do. If we do a gig together and I die on my hole and you have a laugh about it, I love that. Because I hate when people kid and themselves or be like, yeah, it was good, and you're like, we all know it wasn't. But my dad said, I've told this in the podcast before, and I even forget saying it. But a couple of years ago I did a show. My dad came to see, and it was fine. But there was a bit in it that was like stood out as like a great bit, got like big applause break. And my dad goes, a couple of days after the gig, my dad goes, see the bit you do that everyone was like applauding at and laughing? He goes, why don't you just do like more of that? I said, what do you mean, like make the bit longer? He's like, no, just do other bits or stories or whatever, or gags.
Okay. Yeah.
That they'll be clapping and laughing at. And I was like, that's like saying to like a Premier League striker,
yeah,
you scored 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Why don't you just do that every 9 minutes?
Yeah.
And you'll score the most goals anyone's
ever
advice. Scored.
I don't know.
It kind of made sense in a bit. I was like, maybe I should write more better bits.
Yeah.
But what are your parents like? Do they watch your stuff? Do they comment on it? Are they into it?
No. No, not really at all. Not in a way. I just think my sense of humor is so referential and so like internet specific sometimes that like my audience isn't 60-year-olds, do you know, that kind of thing.
Yes.
I think they liked that when I did the musicy bits. I think my mother's just very much like, why don't you just do the singing, or why don't you just do the acting, or why do you have to?
Because Kieran Bartlett gets that a lot. Like Kieran has a beautiful voice and plays guitar really well, and he says he'll have people like, I love the singing now. You should do more of the singing.
Yeah,
because he's so beautiful.
That was my mom's was like, you sang very well.
Yeah,
but the song was about having sex with a car. So I mean, I don't think she enjoyed that bit of it. But the music was good apparently.
Yeah.
So yeah, it felt weird.
Do you do like original music as well, as in like not comedy?
No.
But do you secretly do that?
Yeah, I tried it, and it's actually because I've been making fun of people who make music this whole time,
Right,
and then I tried
yeah,
it myself,
yeah.
and I'm like, actually, it's really hard. I've been really cruel to everybody. So,
Well,
yeah.
do you remember what the first song you wrote?
Oh
Or like
God,
bit of music. I'm not going to ask you to sing.
Do you remember that era of YouTube or of the internet where someone from your school would just randomly put a cover up online or randomly put a song up on YouTube, and everyone would be like, "Oh my God, that's really good." I did one of those.
I think, not that we're from different generations, you're 31, I'm 36.
Yeah.
I think there is a couple of years there where things changed.
Probably, yeah.
You couldn't have done that when I went to school.
Right.
You mean if I put up like a Flying Without, if I'm like, boys, get
Yeah.
on YouTube and watch me sing Fly Without Wings,
Yeah.
I would have been massacred.
I didn't do it at school. I did it slightly after school,
Right,
where
right,
I put
right.
it up.
I think that's
And
a
it went
far
well.
better time where people can like
Yeah.
try something, be like,
Yeah.
I've tried this thing, and people go, oh, very good. Like, but
Yeah.
that just wasn't the case when I was growing up.
Oh, I would have been killed if I did it at school. I would have been,
I'm like, boys, this is me, Jason Derulo, riding like an acoustic version of riding solo. No matter how good it is, I would have been beaten up. In fact, the better it is, the more you would have got beaten up.
probably, yeah.
Sippers, we have a massive Tea With Me live. If you haven't already heard, we're going back to the SSE Arena, 23rd of May. If you've been or seen the live pods before, whether you've been in person or watched it on YouTube or on our Patreon, we're doing that again, but bigger, better, bolder. Bloody hell, it's going to be fantastic. There's going to be stand-up on the night. Is there going to be some sort of musical element? I don't know. All I know is we've sold a lot of tickets. There's not that many left. If you want to get them, they're in the description. Ticketmaster. If you enjoyed the podcast and you want more, if we've wet your whistle, if we've lifted up the Tea With Me 90 enough and you want to see a little bit, you want to see a little bit more than just thigh, there's not nudity on it, but patreon.com/Tea With Me podcast, there could be. If it sells, we'll do it. Dan will get his bumhole out, May as well get paid to do that. But there's bonus episodes. There's bonus episodes. There's specials. This year we're doing loads of one-off kind of mad specials with friends from the podcast, and that goes on Patreon, patreon.com/Tea With Me podcast. Appreciate watching the episode. Thanks for the support.
Back then, that would have gotten you on El DeGeneres.
Yeah,
That kind of
yeah.
thing. So, I mean, the risk is worth it, I think, Yeah.
But would you have, so you would have recorded yourself making covers, but just for yourself, and you're just listening to it?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Or I'd try. I love a good live lounge. Radio 1's live lounge.
Oh,
I love those.
with a bit of a spin on it, or just take the tempo down a bit.
Love that stuff.
Do you know what's a great live lounge?
Which?
Dermot Kennedy doing Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
That one.
Anti-hero.
Have you heard it?
Yeah. No, I haven't heard his cover. I'm going to listen to that.
Brilliant.
What's his name? Lewis Capaldi does a very good cover of Every Time by Britney Spears.
Oh yeah?
It's very nice. Yeah.
Live lounge was, I remember like when you would listen to Radio 1 like all the time at that age, and radio was king, and I sound like I'm 97 on the wireless, but you would be buzzing to hear what the person was going to do with it. Now you'll see a YouTube clip of it, but I remember listening live to those. I was like, what are they going to do with this?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I think my favourite one is the Noisettes did When You Were Young by the Killers, and it's a really nice cover.
Rings a bell. Wind chime at the start?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. There's a lot of like kind of
Does Michael Fry have a wind chime?
Do I have a wind chime?
Wind chime, yeah.
No.
Do you know what a wind chime is?
I know what. I know.
But have you ever incorporated a wind chime and then?
No, it's never. Never.
Would you be open to it?
No.
Off
I'm
the table?
that, absolutely not.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yeah. If and I'm surprised you've asked me. I'm actually kind of offended.
See when I was younger, right?
Yeah.
When like you'd be on the PC and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember I used to have like a wee plug-in microphone.
Yeah.
And it was like a lapel kind of thing.
Oh, great. Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know. I never bought it, but I at some point just had it.
Yeah.
And then I would like download a song on LimeWire.
Yeah.
And if I liked it, I would then get the instrumental.
Yeah.
And then I would lay down some vocals on a Windows Media Player or whatever the thing was.
Yeah.
What I would do is I'd record it, play it back on QuickTime, and then try and sync up playing it on Windows Media Player, the instrumental at the same time, and overlap them. And I remember once doing my own cover in my own house of 50 Cent Window Shopper, and it was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
I was like, this is because whatever I did, like my voice was like a bit raspier when I was rapping,
Yeah.
and it was like sensational. And I was like, if I can recreate this, there's an album in it, and I could never do that voice again.
Okay.
It's brilliant,
Can you rap? You've the hat on backwards.
dude.
I feel like you're
Dude.
soft launching it. Like,
I mean,
yeah.
can I? I can't freestyle.
Okay.
Put me in a studio with the right beat.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
can. Yeah.
What would your rap name be?
Slim Shady.
That's terrible.
Yeah. I know.
There's
probably
loads of 2 Chains.
Two
2 Chains. I don't
I
know.
mentioned Jason Derulo. Who's your
Yeah.
tribute act?
Yeah.
Jason Derulo earlier. But he has the song "Talk Dirty" with 2 Chainz.
Yeah.
2 Chainz verse on that is great. It's really fun.
Yeah.
I don't know what my rap name would be. I think I would just be more serious about it and just be like Shane Todd.
Okay.
And I'd let the music, like, there wouldn't be really any gimmicks with it.
Yeah, it'd be
It
like
would just
artistry. It'd be
be-
like Kendrick Lamar.
It would
You'd
just
win.
be like beats, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, me and Michael made a rap track when we were like 16. And
Can we get that up?
I
Can we
wish we
bring
could.
that out?
I have it on CD. I'm not ruling out that it's somewhere in my dad's house. But he made the beat for it, and we just did it one night, had a few beers.
Oh my god.
It was actually like, I think you'd be surprised at how actually not horrific it is when you break it down.
It was a diss track.
It was a diss track. There was 2 guys we
Oh.
went to tech with, and they were big into rap, right?
Yeah.
And they'd been making music. They'd been making stuff. So I was like, that's fun. Like I was like, we should do that. And they go, here's what we should do. They go, you do like a diss track to us, and we'll do one to you.
Oh.
And then we'll listen to them together.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of fun. I totally misjudged the level they were gonna go to.
Okay, what did you say?
Some horrific stuff. Like, bear in mind,
Yeah.
this is like 2014?
That is
2004.
Yeah, I was thinking
2004.
that's way too. That's like 10.
This
you were
is
26.
2022 I'm talking about. You could
Okay.
say that.
Yeah.
2004.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
things
yeah.
were different.
They were certainly different. Yeah.
I was
yeah.
making all sorts of wild accusations. I was
Okay.
saying things that I wouldn't. If you said it now, I'd leave the county.
Yeah.
But I went in very hard at both of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we played it with them, like in front of them, and it's just seeing their faces, I was like, they'll love this, and they were really offended, and then
Oh.
they played theirs, and it was like not anything personal at all,
Oh no.
you know.
Okay.
It's just like, oh, we're rapping with these guys. That's it. Like, that was
Oh.
as worse as it got.
Well, they misunderstood
Yeah.
the brief. Then that's really on
Yeah.
them. You know.
It was bad, but the song was. I thought the song was good.
What was the song called?
I didn't do a chorus, man. I just couple of verses, like couple of bars, more of a cipher.
Okay.
I'd be more of a cipher rapper. Like, I'm more suited to that.
Yeah.
I would need to, if I was going commercial, I would need to team up with someone who's going to bring the hook.
Okay. Who would you team up with?
Michael Fry,
Okay. If I
gluten free
wasn't
Fry.
available,
That's our name, gluten free Fry.
say I was busy.
You're not. You're available.
Yeah, you know I'm not.
You just said this week you're not.
I'm certainly not.
We
I got
knock
the
out
train
an
here,
album
yeah. Okay.
in a week. I'm
Yeah.
being serious. We can make, because Kieran Bartlett and I had a song, 3 a.m. in California. Again, we're just throwing it about now. I'll do like a bit of the chorus,
Okay.
but I'm not. This is not the way I would be doing it. I'm just doing it casual at the minute. But it was like, it's 3 a.m. in California. Like some like 12 hours behind, but thinking of you, but you're not thinking about me. So it was like, it could be like a great R&B song.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I would probably rap the chorus, but we thought about recording that, like,
Yeah.
in California. Like, that's a good name for a song, 3 a.m. in California.
It is. It is a good. Yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
going to be in California in like a week and a half or so. So maybe I can shoot something when I'm
film
there.
some stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
Just me, like, all lustful on a beach.
Yeah.
You know, not lustful, like thoughtful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you be open to this?
I guess. Yeah. You'd have to. I'd maybe give you my agent's details,
Yes.
and then she'll hash that out with your people.
Yeah,
And
yeah. We'll record it on the border.
We'll figure it out.
What like, because you do you do a lot of everything. You do live radio, television. You got a series with Radio Ulster, your own show there.
Lunchtime with Michael Fry.
Lunchtime with Michael.
Lunchtime with Michael Fry. Yeah.
When does that go out?
It's a limited series. So
No, but like time
series
of day.
one. At lunchtime.
Yeah.
Was that the joke?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm like, lunchtime micro Friday. When does that go out? You're like, it's different times throughout the year.
Yeah. Different times throughout the year. They're limited series.
But like you're obviously extremely creative and you still do your stuff online as well. So, but what, like, is there something you would like to focus more on, or are you like me, someone who likes like doing some different things and then you don't have to make a decision on picking one thing?
I do like doing the tapas thing where you kind of pick little bits of things and just do side projects and side quests. That's fun. I like doing that.
But if you had to have a main, what would it be?
Oh, I'd love to do more acting. I've never been in I'm going to be in a film, but it's like a cameo appearance. It's called Fran the Man. It's about like match fixing. It's like a comedy about football. And Arlo Hanlon, Amy Huberman, a few other people.
I'd have been perfect for this.
Yeah.
You don't even like football.
I know. I do a song in it though, so
3 a.m. in California.
Yeah. They weren't aware of that, obviously. So, like, if had you released that, maybe you know.
Was that fun?
It was weird because I usually do that stuff myself, like filming myself being a tit with different instruments, if you know what I mean. And I had to do it in front of a whole crew at the end of like a really tight, like stressful shoot. So I was kind of like everyone having to film my bullshit at the very end.
Right.
And I don't know, but it was nice to be invited on. It was good. I'd like to do more of that stuff. I'd love to do more comedy stuff, but like scripted, because what I've come to realize is that I'm not Alison Hammond or
how long did
I'm very much like,
how did that, was there a long time where you felt like you were?
Not that I felt like I was.
Like, how much confusion was going on there?
It was more of that.
Were you showing up this morning?
Yeah, I think as I actually did an audition for R&M, believe it or not. But I as a comedian, I feel like you're pushed down these routes where you have to be like good crack or whatever. And I think what I've realised is that I'm no fun whatsoever. So I prefer to do like scripted stuff because I can prepare for that.
Yeah.
You know.
Can I say you are fun though?
Oh, thank you very much. That's really nice of you.
You're like a right level of fun.
Okay.
Like we're as fun as you can be for guys who wear Brooks trainers.
That's,
do you know what I mean? Like top end Brooks trainers, fun guys.
Yeah, but like Alison Hammond doesn't wear Brooks trainers. Like, do you know what I mean? She's just good crack, and I'm not good crack. You know, where she's like trying to get crack at a Harrison Ford and stuff. Like if I interviewed him, I'd burst into tears in a minute. Like because he probably
he's another thing you're scared of.
He wouldn't. I would be afraid of him. Yeah,
I would be too.
He wouldn't laugh.
No,
like do that kind of thing. And I laugh out of politeness a lot, and I expect other people to do it.
I went for my visa interview yesterday at the embassy.
Oh,
for my American visa, and my immigration attorney was like, just to let you know, the last couple of comedians I've had go for the visa have had to tell them a joke on the spot.
Oh,
so
no.
get thinking of a joke.
God.
You think you say that to somebody who's been doing stand-up for 18 years? My head was pickled yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, the fuck, what am I gonna? What joke? I don't do one-liners, so I'm going to have to think of a traditional one-liner. They won't like it, whatever it is, you won't laugh at. They didn't ask me. But I picked the one I was going to tell.
What are you going
to tell you?
Yeah, tell me the joke.
There's a guy, there's a couple that have a baby in Belfast, their first kid, and the guy's mother-in-law rings, and she says, well, you still up at the hospital? He goes, yeah. She said, is she dilated? He said, dilated? She's fucking... I forgot the last...
Yeah.
A guy is going through labour with his wife. The mother-in-law rings. She says, is she dilated? He says, dilated. She's fucking ecstatic.
Great. That's really good.
I wouldn't have got the visa. If that had happened,
yeah,
I wouldn't have got the visa.
That's, yeah. Do you ever
I
have
could
that,
think
though?
of another adjective that was like delighted, but not it. Because it wouldn't work. She's delighted. Delighted? She's fucking delighted. Because it implies... He thinks they're saying delighted.
Yeah.
But what
I get the joke. I think it's it's funny. It's a funny. I enjoyed it. You heard me laugh there before you even finished it. Like it's good.
Yeah,
it's good. Do you get that with like taxi drivers? You know, where they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I always lie now because anytime I've said a comedian, they're like, "Tell us a joke," and I'm like, "I'm not that kind of comedian." And they're like, "So you're not funny?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not funny actually." Never mind. I lied.
And that kills them because they've nowhere to go. Because they're hoping you'll be like, "Yeah, of course I'm funny," but when you're like, "No, I'm not funny," they're like, they can't handle it.
Yeah,
you know?
I just think it's the only profession where it's like up for debate at all times.
Yeah.
Like if you introduce yourself as a comedian, like people are always going to be like, is he though?
Yes.
You know? And it's like, but it is what I do. It's like my main thing.
Yeah.
It's not something I'm just saying I am. You know? I don't know. I would get a lot of existential dread around that sort of stuff, you know. It's easier to say you're an actor or a writer or something.
Writer. Sometimes
I say writer sometimes, yeah.
And then they go, what do you write? And I go, comedy. I go, I'm in it sometimes too, because I'm a comedian. I then just will get back to what the subject is, like, pretty
Yeah, sometimes I do the roundabout thing where I'm like, oh, I'm a comedy writer. I'm like, what have you written on it? And I'll say I wrote on Derry Girls when I fucking didn't. I was just in it. So I just lied for
I say I
no
wasn't.
reason. Do you say you're in it?
Yeah.
As who?
I say the role you got.
Oh, right.
I won't let it go. I'm like, no, that was me.
Yeah.
Something as well which takes getting used to is, like, because you come from the background you come from, it's difficult to go on to, like, a shoot with a director and producers and camera operators and other actors, and you have to fit in with the way that it is there. Whereas you have total control the way you started on what the video is, the way you shoot it, any improv you want to do, the way you edit, and how and when you put it out. We shoot something, we just put it out.
Yeah.
Same, like, I shot a promo video in here for the America tour a couple of days ago, and we drove down to Dunleary. Calvin, who does some photos and video stuff for me, cut it in the car. Before we got to the Dundalk Applegreen, I'd put it out. So that's it's all on our terms.
Yeah.
Whereas the more, and I'm exactly the same as you, I want to do more acting, but that is a totally different. People think it's the same thing. Oh, it's just a very similar thing, but it's not, because we're so beholden to other people and the way that traditional media kind of works.
Yeah.
And traditional filming.
It is hard, and even on Derry Girls, I would say the lines differently sometimes, and then there'd be somebody, probably actually Lisa herself, just being like, it's actually this, and you'd be like, all right, actually, sorry, I don't know better than what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, what have you done, bar? Create this like cultural phenomenon.
Show, like, I don't know.
You're like, I'm just saying, a Chinese accent might be good to do it like this.
I didn't do that, but I would never.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I found it. I think having spoken to Justine, I'm sure she said the same thing. Where, like, we come in and, like, you have to film it, and there's, like, a set amount of time. If I film something at home, it doesn't matter how long it takes. I can waste my own time. My time's worth nothing. But, like, other people,
they also do this fucking annoying thing where, like, if they set aside 8 hours to film something and you feel you're like, we've nailed this in an hour, they'll go, we just still need to keep shooting though.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Let's turn it round. Let's do that take. That was good. Let's do 3 more then.
Yeah, but sometimes the way, like, their budgets work, they have to say they filmed for like 8 hours. I experienced this once on a shoot. Years ago.
That is not what we experienced, because we were slammed the whole time.
Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, as in the time frame for the sketch show was really, really compressed. Right. Know? So we were in.
I prefer working like that, by the way.
I kind of do as well, although, like, we didn't have, like, extras and stuff, so I'm in nearly every frame of the sketch show, because like, we just need people in the background, you know, kind of thing.
But that feels like it's had a great reaction. Like, the clips,
it's really good,
clips have gone great, and anyone you speak to, like, loves it.
Yeah, we're really happy with it. We're kind of, like, quite proud of it. We got a nice review that said an RT sketch show that isn't an embarrassing disaster, and we're all like, that is the best thing anyone could say.
That's that level of Irish praise, like, when you get like a backhanded kind of compliment like that, means so much. I did a sketch show years ago, and it was
it tight shorts.
It's called LOL.
No, LOL. Oh yeah,
years ago. And look, we were all doing this kind of thing for the first time, and it was like, it wasn't a hit, you know.
Okay.
And Jerry Anderson was talking about it on his radio show, and he was you know, I don't know if you know Jerry Anderson. He was a legendary broadcaster. He was from Derry, and he had a show on Radio Ulster for years, and it used to come on straight after Stephen Nolan.
Oh,
so
yeah,
it was like a mid-morning show, and
where everyone would calm down after Stephen Nolan.
But it was such a contrast, because Nolan's obviously the hard-hitting, heavy news, and this was like surrealist. It was a very patient show, and he was hilarious. Like,
is this the one they did like a stop-motion animation?
Yes, they did an animated version of it.
Yeah,
and it was just, you literally couldn't have wrote it. There was nobody like him.
Yeah,
but so his opinion would have meant so much to people, and he panned our show. And you were getting texts like, listen to Radio Ulster, and he was panning, but not he was just giving an opinion. Like, he wouldn't be scared to give an opinion as a broadcaster, even though it was a BBC project.
Yeah,
he was like, what's it? And people were texting in about it, and he was just reading them out, and he wasn't being like cruel. He was just offering his opinion.
Yeah.
And then he goes the girl, and described Yasmin Akram, who was in it. He goes, he's like, the girl with like the dark hair, he's like, she's good. And the guy who looks like Paddy Kilty, like a kid Paddy Kilty, I can't remember what he said. He goes, he's all right too.
Okay.
That compliment meant everything to me. I was like, he said I'm all right. You know, like that's sometimes all it takes. Whereas if you live in different cities like London, you might want this like amazing 5-star review, but in Ireland you just want someone to be like, it's not shit.
That's, I think, as good as we can hope for.
Yes.
Because everyone fucking hates everything that comes out with a public broadcaster. So, and everyone's like ready to have a go. As soon as something comes out, whether they've seen any of it or not.
Yes.
Like,
especially because BBC and RT, the taxpayer funding
that's the
side
thing.
of that, they're like, no, you can't do this to me.
They're furious about all that, where your taxes are going or whatever. You know, and it's like, come on, like, you know.
Do you have any live stuff coming up? I know you said you're doing stuff for the band and that kind of thing.
I'm doing May, I think it's the 14th in the Limelight.
I don't know.
I am bringing my band to Belfast.
Great.
So I'm really excited to do that. We did it in November, where I just do a full set of the songs I do online, a couple of originals or whatever, but I have a drummer, a keyboard player and a bassist guitarist, so it's like full gig vibes. And it's great crack. I had such a good time. I did it last time and I didn't dread it, which is really good, because I kind of dread stand-up. I'm really afraid of it. So I'm doing that in the Limelight on the 13th, so I'm really excited for that.
And is that part of a tour? We'll by the way, we'll put the link for that in the description of the episode. Is that part of a
It's
a
part
tour?
of, I say tour, it's 4 dates, so it's like just a few gigs I'm doing as part of it. But yeah, and then I also have my sketch show, Lunchtime with Michael Fry. It's on BBC Sounds and Spotify or whatever. We just finished recording season 2 of that, so that'll be out at some point in the future. I can't say exactly when, before August, but after April.
Okay.
So in that time period, I will appear on Radio Ulster.
What season is that then? Is that like
that's series
spring?
2?
No, like like is that spring, autumn?
It would be summer.
It'll be
summer.
It'll be spring summer.
Yeah.
Nice. We'll put the link for the Belfast show in the description. If I'm not gigging on it, I'll come down to that, because that sounds like that'd be great.
Yeah.
And don't let anyone tell you you're not from Michael Fry.
Okay.
We're wearing jazzy shoes.
Yeah.
We're up and down that motorway, both sides of the border.
Yeah.
And we're having fun.
We are having fun.
Yeah.
I've actually had a lot of fun today.
Well, can I ask you something?
Yeah, go on.
Will you come for lunch with us?
Yeah.
Because we go for lunch straight after the pod.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was just tea with Shane Todd. I didn't realise it was lunch.
It's tea and lunch.
Tea and lunch. Have we changed it to tea and lunch?
We're going to be like Jerry Anderson and Stephen Nolan. It's going to be lunchtime with Michael Fry and then tea and lunch with Shane Todd.
Yeah.
Already, Ulster. We're going to go back to back. Michael, thanks a million for coming down.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem at all. Thank you.